All right, here we go. Back to talking about helping buyers figure out, what's right for them. While I sit here and wait, I got a client about to go meet another client. Check out a few townhomes here in Roswell. And one of the questions a lot of people ask is, hey, should they wait for interest rates to come down before buying a home? First of all, you can't time the market, right? And ultimately, it's not about the interest rate. It should be about, does it fit your budget? If you can afford a home and it fits in your budget, then now is the time to buy a home. And ultimately, if you wait for interest rates to come down, there's going to be more competition, right? More people come off the fence when it comes to buying a home when interest rates are lower, right? So then there's more competition. So maybe that house might cost you more. It will probably cost you more in the long run to wait if you're waiting for interest rates to come down because, one, appreciation, right? Everything's gotten more expensive. And then two, everyone's, now the interest rates are low, we can afford to buy a house now. So today's rate, like a higher rate, can actually help create a better deal, right? Houses are less affordable with a higher rate. So, and sellers understand that. So a lot of people, if they want to sell their home, you might be able to get a better deal because interest rates are higher than waiting for them to go down. And on top of that, refinancing is easier than winning a bidding war, right? I mean, period, right? You're not bidding against anybody to refinance your home. You're actually, in fact, if you're refinancing, the lenders are bidding against each other to get your business. So ultimately, I think buying when interest rates is higher is not a terrible idea as long as you can afford it. That's the big thing. Is it in your budget? Can you afford it? And if you can, great. You want to focus on things like, as a buyer, your monthly affordability, right? Can you afford the payment of the home with all your other bills, right? Your car payments, your groceries, time out, vacations, right? Putting money away. These are all very important things. So, another one is when you're buying a home, you got to think about maintenance, right? What kind of things do you have to do? HVAC servicing, lawn care. Things break down, right? Sometimes you got to call a plumber out. Whatever it is, you have to make sure you budget at least something for a monthly maintenance so you're taking care of your home, you're upkeeping your home, because deferred maintenance will absolutely cost you money in the long run, right? If you're not fixing that home, then it's going to cost you some money. You have things like, obviously insurance and property taxes. Now, the lender, when you're buying a home, is going to say, hey, with insurance, property taxes, PMI, all the expenses, this is approximately what your mortgage should be. And then, utility costs. That's another big one, right? If you don't have a sense of what utilities cost in your area, first-time home buyer, hey, ask the sellers. Do you happen to have a copy of the electric bill, the water bill, depending on what city you're in, maybe, or what complex you're in, maybe you don't have a water bill, maybe you don't have a garbage bill. But you want to know what these expenses are so you can budget accordingly when you're shopping for a home. All right. Hey, here's another unforeseen expense that a lot of buyers don't think about. If you're buying a first-time home or moving into a bigger home, furnishing that home can be expensive, right? Make sure you have a sense of do you have a budget for that? Are you moving from your 1-bedroom apartment into your 4-bedroom home, and now all of a sudden you need new beds, new furniture, new dining room table? That will get really expensive. Does the home need new fixtures? Is it dated? What are you doing in that home when you move in? You need to plan for all these items and budget accordingly so you're not house rich and cash poor, or house poor and cash poor, depending on what kind of quality home you buy when you purchase a home. So a couple things to think about. Hey, when you're buying a home right now, sellers are paying closing costs, but ultimately it's net to the seller, right? A $500,000 offer is the exact same to a seller if their home is listed, let's say $525,000, as a $525,000 offer with, $25K in closing costs. I don't think you're getting $25K in closing costs on a $500,000 home. With that being said, it's net, right? It's still $500,000 to the seller. So you just need to make sure that you are realistic about what you're asking for. Know that you can ask for closing costs and concession and repairs in this market. It is a slower market. You do need to be flexible with closing dates as a buyer, right? Especially if you're in a multiple offer situation. Again, if you're a buyer and the home is vacant, the faster you can close on that house, the better for the seller. And you're gonna, when it comes to thinking about the home you're gonna buy, prioritize major repairs over the cosmetics. Roof, HVAC. Trust me, that pretty kitchen doesn't mean a thing if your HVAC fails on you and you're sweating in August and you got to replace that. That is a big, big deal. Everything is negotiable in a deal. It is everything from commission to the repairs, to home warranty, to concessions like closing costs, the price, possession date, earnest money, inspection timelines. All of these things are negotiable. One of the things I like to say to my clients, hey, and I have the discussion with the agent, if we wrote a fast inspection time and something comes up that wasn't expected, we're going to ask for an extension, right? We get on that inspection, all of a sudden, it looks like there's, some sort of, there's roots in the line. Yeah, I'm going to say we need to extend the inspection to get the price on that, because ultimately if something unexpected comes up, it's very fair to ask for a longer inspection period. In fact, that's one of the things I just discussed with my client just now, who we're going to get ready to write an offer on. Hey, be willing to be creative. The client as a buyer, right? One of the clients is looking for a bedroom on the main level for his mother. And I said, hey, what if we close off this room? It's a big, living space, a second living space in the basement. What if we close this space off and make it a bedroom rather than just a big giant second living room that you don't need? He's like, oh, that's a great idea, because they have floor plans in this community that already have that. So be willing to get creative as a buyer when it comes to expenses that may not be super huge, especially when it comes to flooring and paint color. Be willing to be creative and don't look at it as, oh my gosh, everything's purple in this house. I hate it. What happens if you paint it all white or gray or blue or whatever? So all that being said, hopefully that's all helpful information as a home buyer. My goal is always to help home buyers anywhere get better at what they do. And if you need help finding a real estate agent anywhere outside of Atlanta, give me a call. I can absolutely connect you with a great agent. And on top of that, if you're looking to buy a home here in Atlanta, give me a call. Let's jump on the phone. Let's talk about your long-term real estate goals and dreams. Because one of the things I tell all of my clients, when I put them in a home, is I want to be there when you sell that home, which means I want to put you in a great home, because I don't want you to be mad at me when we're trying to sell your home. You're like, Tony, you never mentioned this, or you didn't point this terrible driveway out. Why didn't you do that? Again, it's about being a long-term resource and not just helping you buy a home. All that being said, I'm Tony Teutsch with Keller Williams Atlanta Perimeter Legacy and Lifestyle Collective, and this is Living and Moving in Atlanta.